Developing a yoga practice at home can be a challenge. You might be asking yourself, where do I start? How should this feel? Or how can I stay safe so I can continue to enjoy my practice? Well, in this session, I share some of my favorite yoga poses with options to find ease in each pose and progress as you get stronger, more flexible, and stable on your feet. Before we dive in, did you know that Silver Sneakers members can access live virtual workouts every day of the week? From cardio to strength and from dance to yoga, we've got the class for you. If you'd like to explore more ways to stay strong, healthy, and motivated, take just a moment to go to silversneakers.com for a quick eligibility check. If you're interested in finding out more, click on the first link in the description box below. So grab a mat and a blanket, and we'll get started with these standing and mat-based poses. Chair pose is one of my favorite poses because of its many benefits. From mountain pose, inhale and sit your hips back, shifting your weight toward your heels. You can place your hands at heart center, shoulder high, or overhead, moving into your pain-free range. This standing pose improves posture, ankle strength and mobility, and builds strength in your core and lower body. Feel challenged by this pose without feeling overwhelmed. Practicing chair takes perseverance, but the rewards are great. And there are options to explore, like balancing chair and revolved chair. Warrior One is one of the more common yoga poses you may see in a yoga class. It's great because of the balance between length in the body and strength. To get to Warrior One, step 1 foot back, a nice long step, turning the back heel in, and so your foot is at about a 35 to 45 degree angle facing forward. Tucking the tailbone under for neutral spine, bending the front knee, making sure the knee alignment is over the front ankle. Then reaching through the pinky toe blade of the back foot. Sink, bringing hands to heart center, goalpost, overhead, rotating the biceps back, or even clasping the hands if that feels good to you. Find grounding here in this pose. Is there space in your lower back? Are your hips facing forward without forcing them? Or do you feel grounded through your feet? To come out of the pose, lift the back heel, and then step ahead. Pyramid pose, also called intense side stretch, opens your hips and your shoulders as it lengthens your spine and your hamstrings. To get into pyramid pose, take a short step back, turning the back heel in, squaring the hips forward as you clasp the hands or the elbows, forward folding halfway, softening the knees and lengthening the spine. Feel the stretch in the back of the hamstring as you look slightly ahead or straight down, with an option to fold over the front leg, intensifying the hamstring stretch, supporting on the thigh, the calf, the shin, or on the floor as you fold and experience length in the back of the body. Engage your core as you come back up, supporting or holding the arms or hands, lifting the back heel and stepping ahead to come out of pyramid and into mountain pose. To get into triangle pose from mountain, take a big step back, lengthening that back leg and turning the heel in to open the back hip. Straighten the front leg without locking it, and then extending the arms to the side, hinge to the side from the hips, turning the belly, the chest, and the gaze to the ceiling, lengthening the top arm, packing the shoulder down, and then reaching to the sky if that feels good. Support with your inner core or support on your shin or your thigh. Tucking the bottom hip under, opening the top, cartwheeling back up to come out of the pose. Lift the back heel and step back into mountain. Find strength, stability, and grounding in tree pose. As you lift your right toes and plant them like roots, open the left hip, lifting the heel and kickstanding it above the ankle, Or bring the left foot to the calf, hands at heart center, or arms extended like branches, making sure the left hip feels open, the right hip feels long, and the knee stays soft. As you switch the standing leg, long hip, strong ankle, kickstand, or bring the right foot up to the calf as you open the knee back on the right side. Hands at heart center or arms extended. Play with this pose. Find your center. Back to mountain pose. Let's come to the mat for bridge pose. Folding your blanket, place it aside for later, and come onto your back for an active bridge pose. Walking the feet back towards the hips and bringing the hands next to the hips on the floor. Tuck your shoulder blades under and press down through the entire foot to lift the hips towards the sky. Adjusting your feet to make your bridge higher or lower, moving to your pain-free range. Feel the length in the top of the body and the strength in the back of the body. Long neck, looking towards your belly button. And then find a place where you feel ease but strong. You can move that bridge up and down or hold bridge at the top, or we're moving into a more passive restorative bridge as we bring the blanket or a block underneath the lower back, supporting the pelvis and relaxing the body. Hands on the belly or arms next to the hips. You can extend one leg at a time to get more length through the flexors of the hip. Switching sides. Breathing easy. Even placing a towel behind your neck if you feel discomfort there. Or extending both legs if that feels good to you, but pay attention to how your back feels and your neck. You can hold this pose up to 3 or 4 minutes. To come out, lift slowly back up into bridge, slide the blanket or block out, and roll back down to the mat, taking a few breaths before rolling to your side and coming out of bridge. This pose is great because it opens the front of the body and it makes you feel wonderful. Start by rolling up a towel or a blanket partway or higher depending on your posture and how you feel in this pose. You can adjust that prop. Then come onto the hips. We will lie back, placing the blanket or the towel below the shoulder blades, really opening the chest, tucking the chin, lengthening the back of the neck. You can place a towel or a blanket underneath the neck or the head to make your neck feel more at ease. Arms to the sides, or even in a goalpost position. Extending the legs intensifies the lower body stretch. So you can keep the knees bent, extend the legs, or come into a lower body half cobbler's pose. Enjoy this pose for 1 to 5 minutes, just finding ease and allowing the front of the body to open. It'll really lift your mood. To come out of the pose, roll over onto your side and use the top arm to lift. From a seated position with a blanket right next to the wall, sit next to the wall with one hip close as you'd like. Scooting forward, lean back, and then work your legs up the wall, bringing your shoulders and your back to the mat. The closer your hips are to the wall, the more hamstring length is required. So you may want to scoot away from the wall if your hamstrings feel uncomfortable. Keeping the knees bent to begin with is a great option, and then straightening the legs a little at a time, even flexing the feet and reaching through the heels, and allowing the weight of your legs to rest on the wall. This gentle inversion is very calming and restorative. You can hold legs up the wall from 1 minute to 5 minutes or more. It's a great pose to do right before bed. To get out of the pose, roll onto your side. Use the top hand to push yourself back up into a seated position. What are your favorite yoga poses? I hope this session helps you deepen your practice and find strength, flexibility, and purpose in each one of these poses. Consistent practice can help you learn and grow as you take time for a mindful yoga practice. We'd love to have you join us for our live classes, so don't forget to check out the live classes at the link below.